Welcome to the next session on engineering mechanics. In this session, we will discuss the formula list for centroid. That is, we will be discussing the various formulas for standard shapes and what we are finding out is a centroid for each of them. Now, we will discuss certain rules for finding the centroid. If you think of this in a way that it is a game, so there are certain rules for playing every game, and so it is for this one. There are just two rules which you have to remember. The first is, first place the standard shape against the XY axis. Like I told you in the previous class as well, you have to first draw the X and the Y axis, and then you have to place your object, say it's a rectangle, in between this XY axis. Knowing the source and destination is important. Now, what is your source or where you are starting from is always the origin. So let me say that this is my origin and destination is the point G where we have to land up. That is the coordinate we have to find for this object. Know that you can walk along the X and the Y axis or along lines parallel to them only. You can't walk along diagonals. Now, like I told you, this is a game. So what you can do is you can imagine for every object that you are talking about for which you want to find the centroid, you will have to first think that you are standing here. And you have to first know where you have to go. So if for a rectangle we see this dimension is nothing but the width and this dimension is nothing but the height. We know that centroid for a rectangle is half of its dimension. That is half of base, half of height, and this is the point G. This is x bar comma y bar. So when you are standing at this point at the origin 0 comma 0, you have to reach G. Now if you observe carefully, you can also go along the diagonal and directly reach G. But finding x bar y bar is not this way. You will have to start from here. You can start walking from 0 and you have to go to this point G or O as you call it. So from O I will have to go along the x-axis and then along the y-axis. So this L distance is what I need to find. So this x bar is going to be b by 2, this one, and this height over here will be h by 2. This distance is nothing but x bar, this vertical distance is nothing but y bar. So you can walk along the x-axis or along a line which is parallel to the y-axis if you see here. So these are the ways of moving over a body. You can't go along this diagonal. It's not allowed. That's the rule of the game. So if you remember this way, you will be able to solve for any body. So first know these two rules and then we will start with the formula list. So first shape is the rectangle. So what I'll do over here is I will first draw the axis, x-axis, and this is the y-axis. So say this is my rectangle. This is going to be my origin 0 comma 0. This width is b and this height is h. What we have to find out is the area. Now for this rectangle, the area is always b into h. Then we have to find the value of x bar and y bar. So suppose if you want to find the G, as I told you previously, it is at half. So this is G and G is always x bar, y bar. These are the coordinates of this point G. So as I told you, this distance x bar will be b by 2 and this distance over here will be half of the height. So this is b by 2, this is h by 2. For reaching, you will have to start from 0, go this way, this is x bar, go this way, this distance is y bar. Next, we will go for a square. So let me first draw the axis, x and y is the axis. Then you have a square here. Square means all the sides have equal dimensions. So say this side is A, this height will also be A because it is a square. All sides are equal. How do you calculate area? It is side square, or we can say it is a square. Then we have to calculate x bar and y bar. So again x bar, y bar for a square, please remember it is again at half. So this is my g. G is nothing but having coordinates x bar, y bar. So this gap over here, we start from here, this gap is x bar, which is a by 2, and this height over here is again half, so it is a by 2. If you want, you can write this distance is x bar, this height over here is y bar. We'll go for triangle. Now triangle can be a right angle triangle or any other shape also. So let's first go for the right angle triangle. So I will draw the axis. This is my x axis and this is my y axis. This is my origin 0, 0. This is a right angle triangle. So let me take the right angle triangle like this. So this is one side, and this is the hypotenuse. Now say for a triangle, we always label it as base. So this is B, and this one is the height. So we will label this as H. For a right angle triangle, the area is going to be half into base into height. Then we have to calculate x bar, y bar. For that, please remember for a right angle triangle, the G is placed at 1/3 of this height and 1/3 of this base. So this is going to be your G x bar, y bar. So this distance, which is x bar, will be b by 3, and this height, which is y bar, will be h by 3. Now this is one form of right angle triangle. There can be another form. For example, if this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis, my right angle triangle can be like this. So this is again origin 0, 0. This distance is b. This height is h. Area is very easy. Half into base into height, it is going to remain the same. When you have to calculate centroid, please be careful. It is 1/3 of this base. So 1/3 is here and heights 1/3 is over here. So this is your G, and G is always, please remember, x bar comma y bar. So if this gap over here is b by 3, this gap, so what will be this distance, because we have to reach from this point to this point. So we have to see this distance and this distance. The height is anyways going to be h by 3. So y bar is h by 3. That is not a problem. Once you reach here, the height is h by 3. But you have to reach this distance. You don't have to travel this distance. But we know this distance. It is b by 3. So this from origin is nothing but 2b by 3. Because 2b by 3 plus b by 3 adds up to b. Then we'll go for another form of right angle triangle. For example, this way. This is x, this is y. And say your right angle triangle is like this now. So this is the base B. This is the height h. This is again 0, 0. So where is your G? It is 1/3 and 1/3. So this is my G now, x bar comma y bar. So from this point, you have to reach this distance, this distance over here. This is going to be b by 3. So let's forget the area now because it's the same. So this is going to be b by 3, this gap over here. And this height is what we have to find. You know this height is h by 3. So how much is this one? It will be 2/3 of the height. So it is 2h by 3. So how many right angle triangles we have seen? We have seen one this way, one opposite. Then we have seen one like this, and we will see one more which is of this form. So this is x, this is y, this is 0, 0. And the right angle triangle has to be flipped above. So it has to be in this way. This upper portion is the triangle we are talking about. So this is base B. This is height h. Again 1/3 and 1/3. So this is my G. we have to start from here, we have to reach here. So if you observe carefully, this is the distance that I need. We know this is b by 3. So how much is this one? It is 2b by 3. And this is the height that we have to travel. So from here to here, this is h by 3. So this below portion becomes 2h by 3. And area is half base height. So you can see that for right angle triangle, these are the various variations possible. Next, we will go for isosceles triangle. So for that, we will draw the x-axis and the y-axis. This is the origin 0, 0. This is my isosceles triangle here. This is the base B. This is the height h. For calculating area, the formula is same, half base into height. Then how do you calculate is from the base, the distance is going to be half. That is, this is the half distance over here. And this height is always marked as h by 3. This height. This is the point G. And G is always x bar comma y bar. So x bar, that is this distance, will be b by 2 and height over here will be h by 3. Now let's take another variation. Say again you have your x-axis and y-axis and the triangle now is flipped. So this is the base B. This is the height h. This point over here is 0, 0. As I showed you, you can take a pencil and you can mark a perpendicular bisector here. So this becomes a straight line. And over here it is at 1/3 height. So this is my G. And this height, as you know, is, this gap is h by 3. This half distance will be b by 2. So you are starting from here, reaching at G. Source destination is fixed. This gap is b by 2. So you have x bar is b by 2 and y bar. This height is what I need. This much is h by 3. So this will be 2h by 3. So this is another way of drawing the isosceles triangle. Then let's take another variation of it. This is the x and the y axis. This is 0, 0. Say this is the base here and your triangle is like this, in this way. So this is the base B. Please be careful. The height has now become the base and the base has now become the height. But what does not change is the area, half base height, and how do you mark? So you will have to draw a central line from here and this much is the distance. So this gap is what I know as h by 3. This is my G, x bar comma y bar. So this gap is nothing but 1/3 of height. So this will be h by 3, sorry, here. And y is over here. So this gap will be b by 2, this gap. So now this vertical one is going to be b by 2. Then we will take one last form of isosceles triangle where we are going to flip this triangle to the other side. So here you have the y-axis and the x-axis. So this is the triangle. So your height is still the base, if you can see, and your base is the height of the triangle. This is 0, 0. Again draw at the center. And this gap is what I know. So this is my G. Area is BH by 2. Don't bother too much about it. You should think about calculating x bar and y bar. So for that, you will have to measure x bar from here to this distance. This small gap is h by 3. So how much is this distance? It is 2h by 3. And when you walk up here, it has to be b by 2. So this is all about your isosceles triangle, and it also concludes with the triangle. Now we are going to the next shape, which is the circle. And circle is very easy. It's a standard shape. So you first need to draw the circle. And this is the axis over here. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. This point is my origin. And as you know, it is at the geometric center, which means exactly at half from both the sides. Now for the circle, one dimension which is required is the diameter for this circle, or maybe sometimes people give it in the form of radius. So here if you see, if it is given in the form of radius, it is this dimension, or I can say it is this dimension, or I can say it is this dimension over here. So this distance is what you know. This is my g, x bar comma y bar. What is the formula for area of a circle? It is pi by 4 d square. Or you can write this in the form of radius. So this becomes pi r square. It depends what dimension is given, the diameter or the radius. If it is given in the form of diameter, you can use this one. If it is given in the form of radius, you can use this formula. Then we'll go for x bar. Say we know the value of r. So this distance x bar is nothing but the radius r. And this height over here is also nothing but the radius r. If you want in the bracket, you can write it is d by 2. It is r or it is d by 2. Then we'll go to the next shape, which is the semicircle. So first let me draw the x-axis and I will draw the y-axis. This is the origin. Then we have y over here. So let me draw the semicircle in this fashion. This will also be having some radius r given. For semicircle, area of circle is pi r square. Semicircle is half of the circle, so it is pi r square by 2. Then we have to calculate x bar. So for x bar, again it is half of this shape, and for this height over here, this is the place where it is to be marked. This is your G. It is x bar comma y bar. And this gap over here is nothing but 4r by 3 pi. This is something that you have to remember. So when you are standing here, this x distance is nothing but the radius. This height over here is going to be 4r by 3 pi. Let's go for the next standard shape of semicircle itself. I'm going to just vary its position. So say this is your axis. This is the x and the y axis. Say your semicircle is now lying like this. So this point is 0, 0. Again, half of this base of the semicircle, and this has to be only this much. So this gap over here is 4r by 3 pi, and this distance is nothing but the radius over here. So let's start from here. This is my G. This gap is the x bar, which is 4r by 3 pi. And this height over here is the radius r. Area again is pi r square by 2 because it is a semicircle. Let's take another variation of semicircle. Say the semicircle is now placed like this. So here is the base. This is my x. And here I am going to mark my y side. This is the origin 0, 0. So again, base is half is what I have to take, and this gap over here is 4r by 3 pi. So this is my r, and this is my point G. So I start from here. This gap along the x-axis is r, and this gap is 4r by 3 pi. And this total height over here is what? It is the radius r again, because it's a semicircle. So this y will be total r minus this gap, such that you get this value over here. So it is r minus 4r by 3 pi. This is the formula of y bar. And area as we have seen, it is pi r square by 2. So what are shapes we have taken? We have taken this kind of semicircle. It is oriented this way. It is flipped this way. So what remains is this side flip. So I'll take a semicircle like this. And this is my semicircle. So from the base, this is my x-axis. Along this side, I'm going to mark my y-axis. This point is origin 0. Again, half of the base is what I need. And from this base, this height is going to be a gap of 4r by 3 pi. So if you observe carefully, this is your G. From here, this gap, now total this length is R. So this X will now be R minus this value of 4R by 3 pi. Area, as we know, is pi r square by 2. Then we have to talk about the y bar, which is this gap. How much will this gap be? It will be this R. So that's how you solve for the semicircle. This is 1, this is 2, this is the third, and this is the fourth one. So once this is done, we will go for the next shape, which is the last one, which is a quarter circle. So we will start with the two axes. This is x and this is my y. Say this is the first quarter circle that we are taking. So this is the shape. If you observe carefully, this side and this circle. So this point is 0, 0. Now since we are solving for quarter circle, the area will be pi r square by 4. It is 1/4, quarter of a circle. So it is 1/4. Then we will talk about x bar and y bar. So for that, this distance over here is what we have to know. This is the place where your G is to be marked. This gap over here is always going to be 4r by 3 pi, and this gap is also going to be 4r by 3 pi. So this distance is what I need, x bar 4r by 3 pi, and for y this gap is 4r by 3 pi. Now let's change the orientation of this quarter circle. So say your quarter circle is now like this. I have just flipped this quarter circle. So this is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. This point is 0, 0. Again, G will be over here. This much and this much is to be marked. This is my G. This gap is now 4r by 3 pi. And this gap is also 4r by 3 pi. So we are starting from here. This is the x value. Since this much is 4r by 3 pi and this value is nothing but the radius. So we will have here pi r square by 4. X bar will be r minus 4r by 3 pi, because this is nothing but the radius, these two. And the height over here is going to be 4r by 3 pi. So this gap is total r minus 4r by 3 pi. Now let's change the orientation once again. We have taken like this. We have taken in this form. This is x and this is y. So this is the quarter circle. Again, this is the position. You can mark with a pencil. This is G. This is origin 0, 0. Area is pi r square by 4. This gap is 4r by 3 pi. So this x distance over here will be r minus 4r by 3 pi. And this height over here again has to be measured. So this gap is 4r by 3 pi. So this height will be r minus 4r by 3 pi. This is another quarter circle. If you observe, this is the quarter circle in the first quadrant. This is the quarter circle in the second quadrant shape. This is like the entire circle. You mark like this. So this is the first one which I took. Then I took this shape. The third I have taken this shape. So last which is remaining is this shape. So again you have y-axis and the x-axis. This is 0, 0. This is how it will look like. Here is your G. This small gap is 4r by 3 pi, and this gap is going to be 4r by 3 pi. So now we are at area pi r square by 4. This gap directly is 4r by 3 pi, and this height is what we have to find. So it is r minus 4r by 3 pi. Because we know that this total height is r. We know this gap is 4r by 3 pi. So how much will be this gap? It will be r minus 4r by 3 pi. So that's about all the shapes for which you need to know the centroid. Once you know the centroid for this individual shape, you will be able to solve for composite bodies. So with this, I end the session. I hope you understood the entire formula list required for calculating centroid of standard bodies. If you have any doubt, please write to me in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for latest video updates. See you in the next session. Thank you.